When you're hunting for a new laptop, the biggest worry is usually whether it'll actually fit into your daily routine without turning every task into a headache. You don't need a machine that just looks good on paper, you need something that stays reliable through long study sessions, weekend gaming marathons, and the occasional video call with family, all while keeping the price sensible. That's the tightrope most shoppers walk when they see a list of eye-catching specs and start wondering if they're buying a future regret. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a solid weekend comparing a handful of 2026-era gaming laptops, and the ASUS V16 kept popping up in each shortlist because it tries to balance a vivid OLED display, a decent desktop-class GPU, and a massive 32GB DDR5 memory kit. The real question, though, is whether those headline numbers translate into a laptop you'll actually enjoy using day after day, rather than a glorified slab that makes you think twice before opening a spreadsheet. In the end, what mattered most to me was how the laptop behaved when I switched from a web browser marathon to a fast-paced FPS, and then back to a Zoom call with the family. First off, the 16-inch OLED panel is the most noticeable feature on the V16. The 1920x1200 resolution isn't the absolute max you see on some competitors, but the HDR-capable OLED matrix gives colors that feel almost cinematic for both games and media. In practice, that means your favorite RPGs show off their worlds with deep blacks and vibrant foliage, while the same screen is gentle enough on the eyes when you're scrolling through a long document. The matte black finish also reduces glare on sunny CAF tables, which is a subtle but appreciated detail if you frequently work outside. Now, let's talk about the heart of the machine. The Intel 10th-7240H sits comfortably between a high-end mobile processor and a full desktop CPU. With 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, it delivers a smooth experience for everyday multitasking, and when you push it into a game like Cyberpunk 2077, the RTX 5060 steps in to keep frame rates respectable at 1080p medium settings. It's not a beast that will let you max out ultra graphics at 4K, but for a 16-inch chassis it gives you enough headroom to enjoy current titles without constant stutter. Real-world testing showed the laptop staying under 90°C under load, meaning you won't hear the fan spiraling into a high-pitched whine after an hour of gaming. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM feels like overkill for most users, yet it shines in specific scenarios. If you're the type who runs multiple virtual machines, does heavy video editing, or dabbles in data science notebooks, that extra memory means you won't hit a wall when you open a large Photoshop file while streaming music and keeping a spreadsheet open. For the average gamer who mainly runs a single game and a couple of background apps, you'll rarely notice the difference compared to a 16GB configuration, but the future-proofing factor can be reassuring if you plan to keep the laptop for several years. Storage is handled by a 1TB NVMe SSD, which feels instantly snappy. Load times for games drop to the low single digits, and moving large files around is practically a non-event. The only drawback is the lack of a secondary drive bay, so if you ever need more than a terabyte, you'll have to rely on external USB-C enclosures, which isn't a deal-breaker but does add an extra cable to your setup. Connectivity-wise, Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 are standard now, and they work flawlessly for streaming at 4K or connecting multiple peripherals. The laptop also offers a decent selection of ports, 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4, a HDMI 2.1 output, and a classic USB-A. This means you can hook up an external monitor for a dual-screen workflow, plug in a gaming mouse, and even daisy-chain a dock if you need more ports. The only surprise is the absence of an Ethernet jack. You'll need a USB-C adapter if a wired connection is essential for you, which some professional gamers or remote workers might find inconvenient. One of the most practical aspects is the keyboard. The backlit keys have a decent travel distance, which feels comfortable for long typing sessions, and the lighting is configurable, so you can keep it dim for late-night work without glaring your eyes. The built-in 1080p webcam isn't a 4K sensor, but it's adequate for daily video chats, and the Windows 11 Pro setup includes useful enterprise features if you happen to run a small business or need tighter security controls. Who should buy this machine? If you're a gamer who wants a solid, portable rig that can handle modern titles at 1080p without needing to tweak every setting, the V16 is a strong candidate. It's also a good fit for creators who need a lot of RAM and fast storage for rendering 1080p video or working with large design files, as the combination of OLED display and ample memory makes those tasks more pleasant. In short, anyone who values a vibrant screen, decent GPU performance, and a future-proof memory configuration will likely be satisfied. Who should?